What is up, guys? It's your boy GRC. My neighbor's going hard with the weed whacker. I'll beat him up later. Crazy. Today's a good show. I'm not going to lie to anyone. I've been a little not stimulated mentally in the crypto space. I should be. There's a lot to look at, obviously. But I hear so many dumb adults going back and forth that it actually makes me want to go to bed. Like I hear these adult grown men that would never say the things that they're saying in person. And because I know that, because I've only communicated in person for the majority of my life. I've never communicated on the internet. And I look back. I'm a watcher. I like to watch people. And it's just too many inconsistencies, too much bullshit, too many grown men they're playing games, they're playing rich people games with people that don't have money. And I don't like that. I don't like telling people one thing is better than the other when that's not certain nor true. And people don't have that much money. Okay. I'm not necessarily talking about myself. I'm not necessarily talking about anyone. This could be $100,000. But in crypto, guys, you need to understand this. There's this percentage of people that have a lot of money in crypto. So look at this. Is this a big amount? That's a little amount. And then there's this many people that have a little bit of money in crypto. The volume's over here. The people are over here. The USD volume over here in the little spot. So the guys with that money, they're going to leverage you. They're going to leverage your mind. They're going to leverage everything they can to get that $10,000 out of your hands. Do you understand me? Do you understand that they want you to never have over $10,000 ever? They want you to be stuck in that zone. That's a good zone because it forces you to do certain things. 100% you need to understand who you're listening to. Why should you listen to me and not someone with $100 million? Because I'm honest with you. I tell you what I do with my money. Not specifically. I tell you I got scammed. I tell you I got hacked. I tell you my car broke down this morning. I'm not afraid to tell you guys that. I walked to the grocery store yesterday. It's just my situation the last 2 days. I'm not some fucking homeless guy. My car broke down. It fucking happens. It's no big deal. But understand, those guys will only tell you about their victories they've never had. And I will always, every day is a victory for me. I love my life. It's fun. Okay? Those guys haven't experienced enough social calibration to understand that there are guys in the room that know that they're fucking full of it. Because we've actually seen weird shit. You got to understand there's certain people you can listen to. Just because someone's rich doesn't mean you have to listen to. But if I hear Balliot Brand, for example, screaming over the rooftops about this other opportunity that he clearly has an extreme amount of money in, I think it's fair for everyone and him to say the real incentives there. And I just use Balliot Brand because he popped up in the chat. I want people with small bags to be protected. I do not want you to have to experience what I experienced. And it comes from manipulation. And it's a deep, nuanced manipulation from people that have more money than you because they're so detached. They're detached. They have kids. They don't care. You do care. You do care. So you have to attach yourself to the right people. I am the right people. I promise you. I want to come on here and I want to be honest and I want to try to do the best I can. I'm not going to try to fuck you. I haven't made $1 million off of Richard Hart. I like Richard Hart because he's taught me more than anyone that I've found in crypto. I like him because he's taught me more. He's changed my life more. He's had more of an impact on me. And his product is the best thing I've seen yet in crypto. That's my opinion. I think Richard Hart has nailed it. You can't. Okay, so there's that point. And second point I want to bring up, there is a guy named Silver the Antidote that I've been trying to talk to since the day I got into this community. But he said, you're a pleb, give it a year. Well, I gave it a year, Silver, and I'm still here. And guess what he did? He called me today and we had a great talk. And then he sent me a $500 super chat when I was in the green room. And that's the kind of thing I'm telling you guys, when you spread good energy, it spreads back and it benefits everyone. And I'm so grateful for that. And it's not about the money. It's not about anything. It's about the vibes. Those vibes are great, man. You think that $500 super chat makes me want to go play video games and jerk off? Fuck no. It makes me want to be more excited about work. So Sam's going to get into his LP position. I know you guys are dying to talk about it. Before I get into the juice, we're going to have Sam with that quick LP. Dude, that's what we should do, Sam. We should do an LP segment since you're probably going to be providing LP for the rest of your goddamn life. Seriously. And we could do like a little 10-minute where you just update in the future. Well, right now we're just going to do verbal update, but like, or whatever, do whatever you want. But that would be a good idea because I think that liquidity providing might be catching on in the world. And I remember those guys that were saying I would all get wrecked. You're going to get wrecked. I know them by name. By name, Sam. I don't forget. You know, I don't forget. So, guys, this is going to be a great episode. And this has no hate on anyone. I'm pretty detached, guys. I'm not an internet warrior. I could give a fuck. And I will say it in person. I promise. I will. I'll say it right to your fucking face. I don't care if you're 6'4". You could gut me for all I care. Take me out of my misery, baby. Guys, it's Crypto in the Morning.
You already know what time it is. Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning. Waiting on phone. Crypto in the morning. 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 Waiting on phone. Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning. Smoking a blunt on my way to the gym. 11 a.m. and I'm already tuned in. Got me some hex and I'm making a state. Got me some Hedron, I'm making it rain. Pay me some maxi and that's just in case. Jim ready sent me to show you the way. Crypto in the morning. 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 Crypto in the morning.
What's good? You guys like that intro there? You like that crypto in the evening? GRC should be on later tonight. I wanted to give a little bit of an update on my LP position. Let's just say hi to the chat real quick. Jimmy Diamond, what's good? Hex is an investment. PLSD is a gamble. Interesting take. Trading is legal form of stealing money from other people. Change my mind. I don't know if I agree with that, but to each their own, because you're not stealing from other people if they're trying to sell that shit to you for whatever reason. Elliot, what's good, bro? Benny Blanco, how you doing this morning? Do all the segments, all the cutaways, everything, fire, monologue. Yes, that was a good intro, guys. You guys press the thumbs up button for the manic monologue. I think love the song. Yes, say hi to Bullish Guys. He's back from where he was yesterday. Crypto in the Morning remix. Yes. Okay, so let's get into it. Stole finally out of makeup. Yes. Got this pussy tickler going on. So LP position. What is good? I have been contributing LP for maybe 4 or 5 months, just with a very tiny amount of money, just so that I could learn. Because if I lose that shit, who cares, right? But I started adding more every week to 2 weeks for the past month, 45 days. And I've made over $5,000 in LP. There's a lot of people who don't understand what LP is. DeFi Proof in the house clearly knows what's up with LP. LP is fucking awesome. And just within the last 24 hours, 25 hours and 21 minutes, which is 8 a.m. yesterday morning, I've made over $1,150 just from fees in LP. The idea, like $1,150 in 25 hours. Think about that for a second. On an annualized basis, what? That's $400,000 a year just from LP. LP you could retire on like that. There is so much opportunity. By the way, that LP.
I feel like people don't want people working without working. You know what I mean? Is there a feeling of that, Sam? Because all that negative, I just thought when you were like saying all that negative stuff about LP, I was like, is it almost like a jealousy thing? Because it's not about the money, but about like, yo, I'm in position. I know what's up. I'm diving in on this and I'm taking, like, you know what I mean? It's almost like free money, but there's a barrier there because there's like some intellectual weirdness that goes on.
There's so much misunderstanding. There's people saying it's a bad thing. They think it's scary. They think
the best thing.
loss.
It's the best
Bro.
thing. I think people need to understand that LP, and I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about providing liquidity between two assets that you fucking love. Okay? I'm not talking about none of this bullshit. Yes, impermanent loss is something to go over. I'll go over it right now. It'll take me about 7 seconds. So all that bullshit you hear, why don't you just listen to this? I already have ETH in my account. I already have Hex in my account. I have stakes on hex.com, roughly 7 years in length, which is going down because I've been doing shorter stakes lately. When you lose one, you gain the other. So if you're going to have one or the other liquid anyway, which I always do, I always have liquid Hex. I always have liquid Ethereum. I would never want to not have that. That's flexibility. I'm just moving in between two assets that are a small portfolio that are not staked. It's two different functions.
Yes, and during that time, so you can use the concentrate depending on where you provide liquidity, whether it's like Pancake or Sushi or Uniswap or something. There's many other places, but on Uniswap V3, you can provide liquidity in a specific range. So if somebody's scared of impermanent loss and they don't want to sell their Hex if it's above, say, 6.5 cents, then you can set a concentrated position so that if it goes there, you can switch to the other asset and then just rebuy back in so that you're not going to be selling.
Tell them your worst case scenario, just because it's easier to cut through the fat. What is your, and I'll give you my worst case scenario for you. You end up with a fuckload of ETH. Oh no. The best asset ever fucking created in history. Literally. Bitcoin's worse than Ethereum. I think Ethereum's number one right now. Period. End of story. So that's your worst case scenario, Sam. Your worst case scenario. Oh no, Sam has an asset that's going to do a 63x next cycle. Whoopsie poopsie. That's what I'm saying. People use that providing liquidity, and then they kind of like narrate it in a way that's like, you're going to do that between Pulsedoge and fucking Shiba Inu. And it's like, no, I'm not. What? Why?
And to the point of like impermanent loss. I've had a couple times where I've been all in one asset. And you know what that asset has been? It has not been Hex. It has been the other thing, right? People have sold all their Hex to me, right? I'm not saying that's always going to be the case. Clearly it won't be. But that's like, it's a small thing that is a word phrase that's made up to scare people so that they don't fucking understand what permanent loss is, because making 150% annually is not going to have to last. It's just not going to last.
So let's transition right there. That was perfect. Beautiful segment. I think you got your point across. I got my point across. I'm learning right now. I had my crypto computer out for a hell of a long time yesterday. And I was learning. I did my first HSI stake yesterday. So I'm not huge in the HSI staking, but I did a 555 HSI stake yesterday. So I have one. I have all my Hedron locked and loaded, baby. I have liquid Hedron coming out of my butt. And I'm excited about it. And I've been excited about it through a lot of downward pressure. You know, like not on me, just on the asset. Everyone. So, and I want them to know, if somebody brings up price action in my chat, don't do it. I don't care that Pulsedoge went from $9 to $6. That's not why I don't like it. I don't care about the drops. Assets go up and down. So if you're extrapolating data from up and down, then what am I supposed to do? That's not what I'm doing. I'm looking further. I'm looking a little further, I think.
So, and it's interesting because we have both done the same thing. Even though we talk about this, we don't always tell each other exactly what we're doing in crypto unless it comes up in the show. We're talking about other things like, hey, what we're working on for the Crypto Fitness Challenge that's coming up on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Make sure you tune in for that, or other stuff. We made the same play without actually talking to each other. We both have sold a Pulsedoge, and we both have Hedron. And I don't know if you knew that I've sold.
I never knew. So this is what on this show, guys. We are actually thinking. Me and Sam are actually friends because we probably are both think alike, and we like that. to a degree, right? Like we both have similar interests, similar feelings about some core things. And it comes out without us talking. Me and Sam do not talk about what the fuck we do when we're done with the show. We talk about fitness challenge, we talk about getting whatever we need to get done, and then we skadage. You know, so we don't really have the time to catch up. I don't have the time to look at what Sam's doing, but it always ends up that when Sam finds something he really likes, it's usually a good idea. And when I find something that I'm really vibing with, it's generally a good idea. And we do it the long way. I didn't decide on Hedron day one. We went back and forth on Hedron for weeks, but we got it out.
I was super negative.
Yeah,
I was like, people are gonna sell this shit.
Positive, and that's what I'm saying. Like, he respects me enough to think positively because I'm staying positive. Because he's thinking, he's like, wow, that's a good sign, right? Like, it's a good sign that guys are still in it. But I was so, that sell-off excited me. That sell-off, that was the breaking. If Hedron did what Pulsedoge did, I would not have been excited about it. I would have been like, this is the worst coin ever. Get ready to nuke to zero. Wouldn't you? Because it wouldn't have made sense. The numbers wouldn't have made sense. You'd have been like, everyone's holding, everyone's waiting. Who's waiting the hardest? This is insane. Because that's how the reality is. Their sellers are going to sell on your fucking face. And that's the truth. All these guys that are saying they're not going to sell and that they're going to buy the asset, they're waiting to make $1 million off of you. And they're going to sell it. And it's not their fault. It's not anyone's fault except yours. It's your fault.
And with LP, you can get paid when people dump on your heads because they're paying you to do that. When people sell, they pay me because I'm providing liquidity. So like, it's just a win, right? People sell, cool. People buy, cool. Doesn't matter to me. I'm still going to be just printing money effectively because that's all you're doing is you're just earning fees, right? What is people here love Richard Hart and they love hacks in Pulse and Pulsex, right? Well, what is something that Richard Hart has said multiple times? Who are the ones who are making the money in the crypto? The exchanges. The exchanges are making money, right? Because they're just ripping people off. What is Uniswap? My friends. That is an exchange.
Damn, don't say it so straight up. It hurts people's feelings when you say it so matter of fact. Because that's the one thing in this community too. Richard says everything that's right, and people still just say wrong. Even if he says the right thing, and these guys would literally want to be best friends with this guy in general. They love this guy, and they still don't listen to him. People don't listen to anything. They don't. I'm not saying everyone. Some people do. The guys that stake hex, buy hex, provide liquidity, and are rich, they pay attention. Remember how I said that was the small majority, Sam? By definition, there's going to be 95% of people that do not follow directions properly. And there will be people that have enough life experience to follow those directions properly. And it'll come out.
So if you respect and believe what Richard says, that exchanges are making money, right? Founders are making money, and people who buy shit and hold it for a long time are making money. Cool. Well, if you believe that to be an accurate statement, then you can do something to take advantage of it, right? You could start a project. Cool. Right there. You know, you could buy some things that you really like and hold on to them for a very long period of time. Or you can go be part of the exchange by providing liquidity. DeFi Proof has this. You want to read through this?
Yeah, real quick, guys. I'm actually this has been a good episode. I'm going to try to get more structured on the. It's on me. You get bored. It's not like a boredom thing, but your brain kind of dies for it like every so often. But you get 3 nights of good sleep in a row, and you're right back in the action, baby. And I was doing mushrooms and shit. So the other day I was just fucking jazzed up. I didn't sleep or whatever. I thought I'd be able to sleep on that shit. DeFi Proof, guys, real quick. Let me show some stuff real quick. Let's take a deep breath. This has been really good. No, but this has been so good, Sam, because I think I want to start getting our point across again, right? I want to start getting what's the purpose that we're here, guys. We're here to make good decisions and help you guys make good decisions. And we're going to show you through our actions. We're going to be disgustingly rich, and you all are going to watch it. That's not up for debate anymore. Like, it's happening. We're locked in and we're paying attention hard. And Sam's paying attention to some stuff. I'm paying attention to some other stuff, but then we're all talking about it all the time. So guys, real quick, but then for the shills, it's Thursday, DeFi Proof, baby. We're talking LP with DeFi Proof Thursday morning. We're talking LPs. This is the god of LP. He's been doing this thing since we were little niños in the crypto space, baby. He's been crushing it. DeFi Proof, the best DeFi rapper in the universe. Thursday, guys. Super
Ooh,
excited.
great show. Great show. Looking forward to that show, guys. 11 a.m. EST.
Real quick, guys, I have a tweet that I'm going to tweet out. And this is not an attack on anyone. And I'm really unattackable because people truthfully are under the impression that I don't care. And they are truthfully right. I don't care about grown men on the internet chirping their lips unless they're really something. There's only a couple of those guys. Trust me. I've been following alpha male leaders for a long time. And I could see one real easily. But let's get this. I don't want anyone to start telling me I'm fudding anyone. You all can absolutely lick my butt or whatever.
So while you share it out, I'm going to touch on a couple questions here. Jimmy Diamond, is there a web page to see and compare yields for all the different LP pairs? Yes, there's a couple. If you go to Uniswap and start reading about providing liquidity, they provide 3 resources that are calculators that the community has put together that I like to utilize. One, which is Uniswap v3.thechurn, CHUN.dev. Let me put that into the chat here. You can utilize that one. That's got the best interface. You can check that one out. Or somebody else in here. Did you hear Hex paying 58% or 38%? Yes. Good morning, peeps. Did you share that out?
Hedron is Hex 2.0 to me. Couldn't agree more. Sorry, had to say it. Dude, I'm so bullish on Hedron, dude. It's so good. It's so good. Now, the bear market depression can really make you forget how good some of these things are. My B haters. Yeah, lick my butt. Girls and boys, welcome to lick my butt. How about that? No, I'm just kidding, guys. That was rude, crude, and nasty. But I want to get this last thing out of the way because this one's actually really important to me. And this is something that I'm participating in particular, the golf tournament, guys. I'm going. My girl's going. We have a hotel. We're going down there. We're partying. We're filming. We're making content. We're talking to crypto guys all around the world. We're networking. I'm going to have a good time. I make things good times. And if I'm going to be on a golf tournament, it's going to be a good time. I'll be swinging club. All right, let's get it, baby. KSB.TV presents the Pulse Masters Golf Tournament. We have 2 shotgun times, 7:30 a.m. and 1:30 p.m. Registration is 1 hour prior. The Concord course offers a 7,034-yard par 72 layout with Bermuda fairways and large greens. The spectator pass is $55. The individual golfer is $195. In the golf foursome, $750. Play golf, network with others, and win crypto prizes. September 5th, 2022. Contact us at ksbtv/golf.
That's some dope voiceover action right there. If you guys need somebody to do a voiceover on something.
Yeah, if you want a voiceover, I'm getting better at it too, guys. So I've never actually practiced. So I was actually looking up some videos last night to practice, see if there's any like tips and tricks. And the truth is I'm a natural, baby. But anyway.
We have a little clip that we wanted to play, I think.
Well, first, before we play the clip, I want to frame the rest of the show real quick because I need you to chime in on this big time because I can't just have it only me. There's a lot of news lately about Pulsedoge coin. Okay. I'm going to say it straight up. I think this is sketchy. I think it's sketchy. The way Gunther acts, absolutely sketchy. And I know how whales act. They're sketchy. They're acting like Gunther.
So you want to pontificate on that?
It's not about Gunther, but Jesus, come on, bro. I just want everyone to relax. We're on the same team. But this aggressive shit, when there's nothing to back it, aggression with nothing to back it. It's just like, we respect Richard because he built really cool software and it works really good. I have a feeling I wouldn't be looking into Richard too much if he didn't build that software. So I want you to put the same pressure on yourself. people in the chat, never take credit for things that you didn't truthfully dig deep and earn. It's not about investing. It's not about this. It's about putting your name on something that is true. Like, it's like Sam putting his name on like Coca-Cola, but he hasn't drank one in 30 years. Would it make sense? I'd be confused. I'd say, Sam, your show, it's about longevity, but you're sponsored by Coca-Cola. I don't see, there's no synergy there. That would make me feel less of you for some reason. It wouldn't make me hate you. I'd be like, hey, he's getting that bag, but like, Coke, really? You couldn't have gone for like a vitamin water? So anyway, guys, I'm going to pull this quick clip up. Me and Gunther were on live the other day, and me and Gunther have talked a million times. He's a nice guy. He's a friendly guy. You guys know I don't have feelings like this. I don't feel, when I don't have met someone or known them for a long time, I feel nothing for them because they don't actually exist in my life yet. So it's not about him and it's not about me. If people are hating on me because of my truth decisions and thoughts, I got wrecked on Pulsedoge, didn't I? Remember how I was mentioning if the Hedron price chart went straight up from launch, I would have thought it was a rug pull? And it's kind of similar, right? Because they're telling you they're inflating the price. They're telling you why they're doing it. And I'm not saying that it won't work out, but I'm saying please be careful if you're broke. If you're broke, you be careful where you put your money. Hex is a different animal. It's immutable code coded in 3.69 inflation in a direct T-share rate that ratchets up constantly. Different beast. So let's get into this clip real quick where Gunther kind of compares, and I'm not hating on Gunther, but I was confused in this moment. I was a little confused.
It says something that's pretty like hyperbolic, like just being a little bit more extreme. And we're gonna listen to this and then have a conversation about it. And then after, we also have Silver the Antidote, which GRC mentioned earlier, and actually tweeted about this a couple hours ago about PLSD that we're going to get into, and has some thoughts on that from Twitter.
And just like this, nobody watches the show. This guy clearly doesn't watch my show. It looks like you joined the OG narrative. They don't love you. He fooled. I don't love them. Who the fuck is the OG that I'm loving on? Tell me, bro. You're fucking fooled. You're fucking fooled. Good luck being a pleb, bro. And I'm not saying that it's about the narrative. It's like saying Bitcoin has less negative externalities than Hex. That's false. It's just a false thing. Okay, so let's pull it up.
Oops, muted.
You that the asset would become
And I'm getting pissed off because people are in my DMs now. Not right now, but like even like yesterday and shit, like bothering me, like literally bothering me. I don't even know who they are.
exceedingly scarce. We're not even getting into decimal points. We're just talking about whole tokens. Those whole tokens will become exceedingly scarce, which implies that it will drive the price up over time if and only if demand is greater than supply.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So
That's called a word salad for fucking nothing. Like what he just said. He just told you that if the supply doesn't go up and if more people buy it than sell it, then it goes to the moon. Yes, Gunther. Yes, Gunther, yes, very true. It does go up if people buy it. But as we know, and I'm going to highlight this because it's important, I need you to understand this now if you're new. If a token is inflationary, it doesn't fucking matter. If a token is deflationary, it doesn't fucking matter. It matters if there's a line of motherfuckers to buy it. It doesn't matter if the line's big, it's good. You're fine. Hex was designed perfectly. Dude, not perfectly, but God, close. And I just want the manipulation. It's a little bit manipulative, Gunther, for you to be bringing up, like, acting like this is some sort of confusing, strong intellectual verbiage here. This is just retarded word salad. Damn it, that's another 50 push-ups.
What I'm suggesting is that Pulsedoge is actually an amalgamation or a hybrid of Bitcoin, Doge, Hex, and PulseX. It is a powerful asset. On the surface, it looks like plain Jane, ERC20 token, just regular meme token. There's no value in it. But if you actually take a step back and think about what you have, you might begin to see the value proposition in the token itself, and kind of just distance yourself.
Wait. So wait a second.
First of all, before you go, because I want you to go on that, on the what he said, but for the comments' sake, guys, if you think this is an attack, if somebody brings up anything where I'm just talking and they say it's an attack, I don't say shit that incriminates myself because I'm not an idiot. So I didn't talk to Gunther about this because I said, hey, you guys want to come on? This was just totally off the cuff. They were duking it out. They had some points that they had to get out. And I was sitting there and without me, they would have been completely children rolling around on the ground, naked, spanking each other because they were being little kids. I told them 5 times during the interview, you guys are acting like children. I'm the youngest guy in the room, by the way.
So give context. So the one dude who doesn't have a picture up there, who is that, and what was his point?
On Twitter, and I said, why don't you guys just come on the show and beef it out? And then they eventually apologized to each other, and that was all worked out perfect. And I wanted to go to bed, but Gunther wanted to keep talking. I told him 3 times before I wanted to go to bed. I'm not a hypocrite with Gunther, but you don't know what a hypocrite is because my ideas and my ideals and my truth always get told. Yours never do. I always say the same thing. When Gunther comes on, I say, it's always great talking to you. You have so much insight because he does. He's been around longer than me. I just speak what's actually going on, and you just speak whatever your brain's screaming at you. Okay? Because you're just listening. I like Gunther. If he wants to come on the show again and talk to me, if he wants to talk to me in real life, if he wants to talk to me anywhere, I will do it. Period.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
I would never care.
Just because you think somebody has insight or has a
if he wants to come on here and do it,
there's nothing wrong with that, like whatsoever. I don't understand why you think that somebody's being a hypocrite, right? That's
because
saying one thing and doing
he made the coin. Because he made the coin. That's why.
That Hex guy or Hex truck.
I don't know if it's him, but one of his, like it's their bags, dude. They're pissed. I talk shit about Cardano. I talk shit about Polkadot. I talk shit about a lot of coins. Celsius, I talk shit about them. Dogecoin, have never bought it in my life. I live my truth. Literally, I do what I actually want, think about doing, and I think it's the right thing to do, and I express that. I don't listen and regurgitate. I listen and I learn and I wait. And then we've been talking about Hedron for months, and it's not about the price action. And I like all these guys. I don't even hate them, but the way they're going about it, I think is sketchy, and it's going to get people hurt.
Why is it sketchy?
Because people with no money are going to over leverage themselves into this because they're listening to people with more money than them that are going to dump on their heads. That's why.
You had mentioned this morning when we chatted on the phone because somebody who there's, like you said earlier, there's a small number of people who have a lot of money here that are doing a lot of talking, right? Then there's a boatload of people who don't have a lot of money and who are listening to some people who either claim to have a lot of money or do have a lot of money.
So this guy right here that's screaming, Gunther made the coin, idiot. What I talking about? Gunther told me he did not make the coin live on this stream. And he told me he has nothing but an investor. You're muted.
So wait, let's get back to the amalgamation of
the combination. For some reason, boy.
Yeah, we can hear the combination of what he say: Bitcoin, Hex, and Hedron. Is that what he said?
Well, let's just go back and look. I don't remember. Again,
can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right. I was just saying that Gunther for sure, 110% did not make it. Hex Info made it. There's a lot of people behind the scenes who know Hex Info. He's also launching Pulse Bitcoin, which is the second project. So if you have an issue with the coin, get at Hex Info, not Gunther.
Yeah. And this is not even fighting the bags. Like if this project is truly good, and I think there is space for meme coins. What is the title of this article? Why I DCA into Hedron, but I don't, and I sold my Pulsedoge. That's what I wrote. And that's just my personal opinion. And I do a crypto show every single day. So very hard for me to not say my personal opinion on crypto when I do a crypto show every day. Because what am I supposed to do? You want me to be Michael Saylor and say is the best no matter what? No.
I don't understand how somebody could think the meme coin, and I'm not saying I didn't hear points on it, right? But I don't understand how somebody could think that a meme coin, right, that is out there can have the same value prop as Hedron, Hex, and Bitcoin combined, like that doesn't make any effing sense to me whatsoever. And I'm not like, I couldn't care less what other people do with their shit. Like if you
I
want to
get worried about the new guys, Sam, because I'm a new guy and it's like my squad. You know what I mean? I feel like it's my squad, and I feel like sometimes I have more insight on them on certain things. So I'm like, I want to protect the squad, you know? And
because people will put money into there.
I don't care about the rich people that put 5% of their money or 10% of their money in Pulsedoge coin. That's fine. But like, I get scared that people will understand this narrative and think it's like a real major, the only thing that goes. Because when Gunther says stuff like this, I think you tell me when this is over if this could be confusing if you were brand new. You tell me.
So let's go through and listen to the last bit here.
Right.
So this is so what I'm suggesting is that Pulsedoge is actually an amalgamation or a hybrid of Bitcoin, Doge, Hex, and PulseX. It is a powerful asset.
Wait a second. Pause that for a second. Wait a second.
Sam, have you ever heard that line before? No. What? See, again, me and Sam don't sit here and review this shit beforehand. We just kind of just go. I tell him what's up. He's like,
so
okay,
the raw response. Yep.
Yeah, it's raw, like for real. So Sam, he said that in front of 214 people live. A lot of those being a lot of new people, in a totally unbiased way. How could that make you feel? You are kind of new. So let's say you were trusting this man, and this was one of your guys that you watch. What would you feel?
I mean, that's kind of confusing. Like, yeah, and I pay attention to crypto like probably a lot more than a lot of people do because I do the show with you every day, and I find it fascinating, and I love crypto. But when you're saying that something is Bitcoin, I think he said Doge and PulseX and Hex.
Well, he said this is what he said: Bitcoin, Hex, PulseX, and Doge.
But PulseX and what?
So
what?
now we're talking about a decentralized DEX,
right? Like that's what I'm like. What are you talking?
We're talking about an exchange that's decentralized. Some of the most crazy tech that's going on in crypto right now. Uniswap crushing it. And to say that these things have any correlation whatsoever just because you might have a staking feature is ridiculous. If they get a time lock staking feature with 5.12% inflation and algorithmic it for the 20 years, I'll be more impressed. Or do something like that. Okay, you want to compare it to Hex? Make it like Hex then.
And there may be something like that coming for Pulsedoge, right? There may be something like that coming for Pulsedoge where you can take your Pulsedoge. So we heard a rumor about this at Pulsedoge, you might be able to take that and stake that and earn.
That would be great. And again, that would be great. But GRC sees realities. I don't see things that aren't there. This is a meme coin that says it's having a staking feature. That's fine. That's still just a meme coin with the staking feature. I'm going to have PulseX. That's like saying, Sam, why don't you go buy $150,000 worth of hardware and go mine Bitcoin and take your LP out? You're going to be like, the value prop's not really. Do it, dude. You have to do it. It's for the gains. It's for the gains, dude. Trust me, dude. No, but you don't know. It's an amalgamation of many things, this Bitcoin mining. You have to understand. It's like Hex. And when you turn your computer on, it's like PulseX. And when you start going, it's the yield. You're making yield. And you're like, yeah, okay, I am making yield with the miners, but I just paid $100,000. I only have 3 coins. Gunther has 64,780. You know what I mean? Like there's no stake for him to lose a quarter of that. It's not even going to dump the price once it gets big enough. That's what they want. That's what they want. And it's not an attack on Gunther. This is how crypto works. This is how humans work. There's always a person doing that in every industry.
And I think we had a little bit of a disagreement between GRC and I and before we came on in regards to Hedron, because we can also transition to Hedron too. I want to hear. Let me just say this first about Hedron, right? So we have a little bit of disagreement about what's going on at Hedron. The same exact shit is going on at Hedron, just behind closed doors, where we don't get to actually hear. We're not privy to the information that is taking place. And you see this in like legacy markets where it is against the law to do, and it happens every effing day. It happens with the people who are in supposed leadership positions in our government who do insider trading, and then you look at what's happening with Hedron, or you look at what's happening with PLSD, like the same exact shit is happening behind closed doors. People working together to take advantage of other people or to manipulate things in a certain way when you look at the price of Hedron over the last couple of days. But before we pull up a tweet by Silver the Antidote, can you give us some context of who this guy is? Because I don't have the context behind him, but I've heard that he's very, into the nitty gritty and chain analysis and stuff like that. So can you give us a little bit of a preview of that? And then we're going to pull up that tweet from him a couple hours ago.
So you said a preview of what?
Who is Silver the Antidote? What is
Oh,
he?
yeah. So, yeah, this is kind of a nuanced one for sure because he hasn't been around for a while. He's a behind the scenes guy. He's a Twitter guy. He's pretty anonymous, but he used to stream, and he's a chain analysis guy. So he had something to do with the OA audit and Gunther and all that shit. And he sent me $500 this morning. So, I mean, if you guys want to test the character, I talked to this dude one time in my life. He sent me $500. I told him my card didn't work, and I had never asked him for money. We just had a chat. So that sounds like putting your money where your mouth is. That's called, I'm not saying I read people really well, and this dude was the first guy on my interview list. Anyway, he does chain analysis. He's really raw. He's really detailed. He's a sick fucker. He likes to sit on his computer for 12 hours and study with nobody around. Like he wants to get into it, and I could tell right away. So he comes up when he tweets, he usually means it pretty good. Like, like when he tweets, it's like, it's not just like, hey, I'm eating bacon for breakfast. It's more like, this dude's selling at a high rate of speed, blah, 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 blah.
So thank you for giving us a little bit of context on who this is, because I don't have the same context there.
He's a day one Hexagon that has shown to me a lot of detailed orientation and amazing insight.
And so this guy here, I haven't looked at these charts and I haven't read through this yet, but he tweeted this out. Somebody let us know.
I have not read this yet. So first time reaction for me. PLSD showing signals of a local top and an early exodus into real cryptocurrency like Hex and Hedron. Wow, I love that he mentions Hedron. Not a lot of whales mention Hedron. Not a lot of guys that were day one in Hex mention Hedron. But remember how I told you he pays attention to a lot of the little stuff where like sometimes like the bigger guys just kind of whatever. I think it's really important. Be ultra cautious if you invest, and it's not free airdrop. Coins as the last laugh might be at your expense. This coin will not last the test of time. Don't say I didn't warn you. I did not read this before this. And then let's read this one. Update. Top right account took just 4 minutes and 4:32 to make the jump. LOL. Welcome to the team. So that's probably
this is what he paraphrased here. So that was from 9 hours ago. That for the first thing we read, and then this is from 2 hours ago. Go ahead.
Do you really want to be exit liquidity? You still have time for that. Got in before the price range. PLSD showing signs of a local top. Yeah. So basically, and I don't look at price charts much. So like the difference between I don't really ever look at the price charts because they're more a confusing factor to most, I think, including myself. I can get more confused from price charts. You have to learn macro trends. Like you have to learn trends, read the news, look at the news, look at these wallets. That's really how you learn about crypto. You look at wallets, you look at liquidity, you look at active participants in it, and you see what kind of action there is on a day-to-day basis. So I think it's important just to note in general, I think, biceps in the chat if you trust Silver Antidote as being a open-minded and open-minded journalist when he posts.
And I don't know the context of something. I've heard positive things from you and several other
chat
people.
Because I want to know. So biceps, and then do something else. Do something if you don't like him. If you don't like him, do a down arrow. But if you like him, do the biceps. Because I want to know. I don't know how many people have the same feelings about this guy than me. Because this was all out of my head. Like I just liked this guy, and he hit me up today for the first time ever. And it's really weird, like how we were thinking about the same thing, because clearly he was thinking on the same wave. I was like, people are going to start getting hurt potentially if they're not hearing reality. And I'm not saying Pulsedoge isn't going to go up or down, but they need to hear the truth about price action. Sam, I have a coin. It has 5 coins. They're $15,000 a pop. I have 4 of them. $15,000. One of them can be yours. Seriously, Sam. Dude, there's only 5. Do you know if 3 get sold off, what I'll do the price? Dude, it'll be $100,000 a coin if 2 sell off. Would that sound good to you? No. So this whole liquidity talk, no. People don't. I've never seen a meme coin where that was my first and only criticism on Pulsedoge ever. And I said it from day one. I said, no one's going to buy a meme coin that's over $10. No one, long term. It's too much money. Kids like to see fucking shit. And who buys meme coins? Kids. It's gambling for kids. So please, guys, please just protect yourself. Meme coins are for a small portion of your bags. Just make that your standard right there. Silver Antidote, you're the absolute goat.
Thank you so much. Why are you more? Because we both did the same actions, right? We both have sold Pulsedoge, and we both have Hedron. Now, talk about that for a second, because we weren't communicating, but we both did the same actions, right? And why are you more bullish on Hedron? And we're not saying you guys should do any of the things that we talked about.
I'm bullish on Hedron because I know what it's going to do when Hex pumps, because it's a direct derivative of it.
So it's going to be tied to the price.
I just think they're going to be tied together enough, and it's going to be cheaper and more explosive enough where people are going to be like, it's good to have some money here. Everyone sold off right away. And except fucking Bullish. Bullish has been buying. I have been buying a little bit here and there, which is a lot in Hedron.
And I've been buying for different reasons. Not necessarily.
Bullish has been buying for months.
Yeah, since day one, because it gives me an opportunity. We'll see how it plays out. I still believe more time needs to pass before it's a viable marketplace, but it's essentially buying SHIs. So the opportunity calls for me of buying cheap Hedron now that does a potential pump. I can buy a lot of SHIs for cheap because of what I got in it.
And so all jokes aside, I really do. And I think there's, someone could have come out with Hedron and not done it well, and it might not have been the same way, but I'm starting to trust Alex more and more as the days go by. I had this really funny notion that everyone was underestimating this guy while he was behind the scenes giving it hell. And I could feel that for some reason. I could feel it. I can feel that kind of energy. I don't know why, because they don't do lots of this. It's like if I was building, but it was only this. It's like, how much are you building, bro? How much? And if it's not your cool, so it's this. Be afraid of this. This. Richard's not the dev. Richard does nothing to do with the devs. They are the devs. They know how to code. He clearly does not at that level. So he is the marketer. At least say you're the marketer. At least say you're the guy. Say, that's nothing to do with me, but it's my shit. It's gross. It's gross.
I think that when you told me this morning that Hedron is up like 150% in the last 24 hours, I immediately think of insider trading, that there's somebody found out about some piece of information, or multiple people found out about this piece of information that we are unaware of, or they're trying to signal, trick, whatever you want to call, manipulate the market in moving in one direction, because it's not also very liquid. There's a boatload of it, but it doesn't take a terrible shitload of money to move the direction of it, because there's not much of that out there. If you look in the liquidity pools for Hedron and whatnot. So I saw this and I'm like, oh, that's insider information. That's probably somebody trying to got information around, what is that? ICOSA, right? ICOSA is probably going to be launching very soon, according to Alex. And he was probably talking to other buddies or OGs, this is all conjecture.
But that's also allowed, right?
Well, this happens in real life. Why would
no? But it's allowed in crypto world. That's kind of legal, right? Like you could tell your buddies about projects that are gonna. So, I'm talking about legality wise. If I was making a coin, I'd tell all my friends to buy it because I would be like, "Dude, we got an opportunity here."
In the legacy world, it depends on the information you divulge, whether it's legal or not, right? So if you're giving out there's a phrase called material, right? It's material information. So if you're giving out material information to somebody about a project, or in legacy land, right, about a company or what's going on in their business, and that is deemed to be material. What is material? Material is going to be something that can influence the price, right? So if I'm like, oh, hey, bro, you should buy in like this next quarter, I'm going to be releasing my results, and I've literally 3x'd my results from last quarter, shit is going to go bananas, right? Or in the crypto space, it is not regulated, right? So this doesn't take place in terms of people going to jail or anything like that, but it does take place if I'm coming out with shit and I know what's going on. Don't you think GRC, don't you think Bullish is going to know about that shit before you guys do? Of course, because I'm talking about them all the time. So this shit happens all of the time in the real world.
And I think
it
there's
happens
more
in crypto.
positive externality there, because I think it was oversold a little, not a lot, a little. And I think that gives it more pressure, because remember what I was pointing at the chart the other day, and I said, I just feel like this thing's going to hit back to where it started. Like, you know, that kind of happened, and I think that might have not happened if you did it 10 times over. I really don't. I think like it would have been a little less explosive. And I think that there was a little bit of positive premium pressure, plus the ICOSA news, plus a really good project, plus tied to the asset that we think is the most explosive in crypto. It's like, this could get dangerous, man.
The way I see it is, since Hedron's immutable, ICOSA had to come out to fix some of the stuff that happened with the launch, or some of the points you just brought up. That's what ICOSA is basically aiming to solve. So once it comes to market, once it's live, and once both of these contracts start interacting with each other, and the Hex contract, you get pretty bullish.
And I'm getting bullish in general, like a little bit bullish, like in general, which I'm feeling a little bit. Like, I'm not saying we can't dumpy poo poo, but get on with it. Let's move it. It's moving. I think things are moving, which is a good action. What's the worst thing, Sam? Inaction.
Oh, and shit is, look at the last 45 days, some stuff has really started to move. If you look, when was the top? If you define that as like the start of the bear market, when was the top for Bitcoin? About a little bit over a year, about a year ago.
Way more, about a year and a half, year and 3 months.
Right, it was summer of last year,
March,
something like that.
April
of last year.
Peaking.
Okay, so it's already been a bear market for a year and a half, right? It could turn around, right? It could. I'm not saying that is the case, but there's a possibility this could be. We could have seen the lowest points potentially. 100%, we could see another 50% sell-off, but we don't have that direction right now and what's going on.
I'd love that though.
Yeah, no.
Richard said it straight up. This is my last point before we get going. He said it straight up. He said, I think it could go up. It just depends what the Fed does. He said it. He's like, it just depends. He's like, if they keep printing out money, like no shit, it's not going to work if they do it wrong. They can do whatever they want. So it's variable. Jimmy Diamond, what the hell? Got to sign off, but I've been rewatching a lot of your streams lately, and you guys are killing it. Thanks for keeping it real. No, thank you, Jimmy Diamond, for keeping it real. And I really appreciate the $55 super chat. And I'm trying my hardest to be 100% transparent. I literally cannot look at my DMs anymore. If you knew how many people were in there saying the stupidest shit in history, it's like wasting my time just to look for the DMs that actually matter. So if you want me, ask me for my cell phone number or hit me up on Telegram in general. Like, I'm done with it. But it's toxic. It's toxic as fuck. It's like, I don't care. Just because you made $1 million on Pulsedoge coin doesn't mean I give a fuck. I don't give a fuck, actually. And I think that people could get hurt.
I agree. Well, somebody had asked a good question. I don't remember where it was. Would you, from Grant, thank you, Grant, for being here. Appreciate it. I like your photo there. Would you guys recommend Hedron to new plebs? I would say no. Personally, to start with, so my girlfriend, new pleb, right? She doesn't know what that's going on other than me just blathering on about crypto nonstop every day. She has no idea what's going on. But I would not recommend her getting Hedron. I would say get your positions in something like if you want to build.
It depends if they're in learning mode or can you put something here for me so money go up mode. It's like, it kind of depends. Like if someone's like, so for you, Grant, if you want to learn, you need to learn what these things are before you invest in them. I would buy Ethereum and USDC and Hex very, very, very slowly while you learn specifically what the fuck is going on. Because just like a lot of these guys, they get tricked early. And it's not because of you, it's because of nuance. You can't know what you can't know, and you must protect yourself. What in what respect, getting told that something is like Bitcoin, PulseX, Ethereum, and Hex combined, and that he told everyone on my stream, I'm going to make $1 billion from this. Yeah. Hurt. I don't know what it means, but it's sketchy. Why can't it not be sketchy? Why don't you go to the drawing board, buddy? Why don't you go to the drawing board and make this not fucking sketchy for me? Why do I have to feel sketchy? I would like to buy something that doesn't make me feel sketchy. You don't think I like gains? I love gains. I want gains. I don't want sketchy in my life, period. And I don't want young guys that are more impressionable than me not to understand what's going on when people that they think know are telling them clear horseshit. Because it's just, I'm not saying that it's not going to go up. I'm saying people need to understand what is going on with Hedron. Like just like Hexo, for example. I love watching Hexo streams, by the way, but he would benefit from actually learning about this shit, not just saying I'm rich, so I don't want to learn about it. Like I would say it's an extremely important part of crypto. It's an extremely important part of Hexo working out long term and being super bullish. But Hexo does mention that he sold all of Hedron and just bought Hex with it, which is a case for a lot of the people, Sam. Another positive externality of Hedron is that it pumps the very asset that pumps it. Everyone that sold their fat bags are hexicans, big fat hexicans. They want big fat T-shirts. And I
would like to see more experience on that from like being boots in the ground, so to speak, or like watching this actually take place, where Hedron actually goes in it's correlated with the price of Hex. Like I just haven't seen that play out yet.
It hasn't played out.
I could believe that, and it's a plausible story, and I would think that, but there's no like mechanism where it would happen automatically that I can see between the two.
It's a hair clunky. I wish it was easier for people to trade within that didn't know what the fuck they were doing. But again, when we're talking about Hedron, we're talking this was airdropped to T-share people. T-share people generally know a lot. That's at least in crypto. Like they've been enough around to have a T-share, which is it's a price gap. It takes a while. Okay, so they've been in the system for a little bit. And then we're talking about an asset, you know what I mean? The way it's distributed, the dumping, maybe it was more part of the plan. Maybe like, I just think when something's directly tied to the B share, they'll get traded within each other because there'll be more value a little bit on the Hedron side. And I think that value proposition is what keeps it up, but it's soon to be seen. We'll see it in the next bull run.
I would love to be and I would love to be wrong if they're fucking tied together at the hip and they're both exploding. Like I'd be like, seriously, that was fucking good insight there you had there, right? But it could go the opposite direction. But we don't know here. Trustless. Thank you for the super chat. I'm sure.
Sam, why would you not tell people about Hedron? If you tell, because we're learning, you dingleberry. You know this thing came out 2 months ago. Like, what is this Sam supposed to do? Understand the whole inside of the crypto market and Alex's insight and the whole mechanism that hasn't played out yet before he can. It takes a minute. You know what I mean? Like, Sam's not going to spit it out and be like, buy Hedron. I don't even do that. This is like 6 months in where I'm finally being like, it took me months to be, because I liked it the whole time, but I was scared. I was scared to say it out loud with my stomach. But now I feel better about it.
But to GSP's point, like if somebody's a noob, you got to put yourself in their shoes, and they're effing clueless. They don't have any effing idea what crypto is, how it works, or anything like that. And I'd be like, you can get into something like USDC, and that's technically on the verge of being crypto, right? And then they get their toes in the door, right? Or ETH, right? Because then you have crypto. Right, people understanding the concepts of some of these things are it takes time. Like, it takes time. Like, my girlfriend has heard about Hedron, but doesn't have any effing clue what it is. And she's not going to be buying Hedron as she continues to DCA. At this point, maybe in 2 or 3 months if she takes an interest to it. But no, I don't think that would be like somebody brand new. I don't think so. Like, yes, telling them about it so that they can stake through an HSI and they can get like their free dust is cool. Like, I agree with that, because then if they want to get rid of that stake, they can get rid of that stake or change wallets, so to speak, and they can sell it to themselves or transfer it or whatever the case is that they wanted to do. But to just tell people to go buy Hedron, I think would be foolish. I just don't think that's an intelligent thing to do.
Yeah,
personally.
it's different if it's like, hey, can you put something in my bag that might explode that you think it'll, like, that's not really how it works in crypto. It's like people ask me all the time to come to the house and like fuck with their computer. I'm like, you can fuck all the way off. I'm not doing that. I'm not getting involved. Like, that's murder waiting to happen, first of all. And second of all, that's just not right. You have to know, if you're shilling stuff to people that you know don't know, you are bad. You're wrong. You're not educating anyone. You're lying. And that's my opinion, man. Like, it is my opinion, because when you say something from the bottom of your heart to an audience that you know does not know what the fuck game you're playing, that's
how people get taken advantage of, dude.
Exactly. And that's why this has been hurting my stomach. And that's why me and Silver were clearly on the same page, because it was coming to, there was some value in that. I could feel it. I could feel some people. I was like, there's going to be a premium of people here that just don't know what they're doing, that are getting led down the wrong path. And I got led down the wrong path right away in crypto. I was in a paid group, and Dollar Cost came in, said Hex is the bee's knees. The other two guys said it's going to fucking zero. Hex is a fucking scam. They didn't look into shit. They didn't explain shit. And it reminds me of something very, very, very similar verbiage when people are bullshitting. Okay. And it's not their fault. It was a mistake that they made at the time. They owned up to it, and that's fine. But again, I know what it's like to miss millions of dollars of gains because people want to act like they're in your best interest. They're not. They don't care about your bags. They care about theirs.
Correct. And if I was like on the Hedron point, like, yes, I plan on getting more Hedron, and I probably will provide liquidity with Hedron at some point. But I'll let you guys know when I do that.
I want to do that.
Yes, right. Maybe I'll do that by the end of this month or something like that, because I do plan on doing.
How much Hedron do you think I'd have to put in to make it worth it? USDY.
17 trillion Hedron.
USDY.
If you're doing it on Ethereum, which you would be, I would say probably the lowest you might want to go is like
1,800.
Yeah, 15 to 2,000.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Total of the position between both sides.
Yeah. So yeah,
because the fees sometimes are crazy high. Like,
well, yeah, and you can snipe low fees too. So we'll get into that one day too. We haven't really looked into that too much because the fees have been reasonable-esque.
Most of the time when I adjust my LP position, I like to adjust first thing in the morning. I get up at like 6-ish. So between 6 and say 7:30, 8 o'clock is when I like to adjust my position, because
that's when all the degens are sleeping.
Exactly.
Anyway, guys, no hate to anyone in the community. I hope Pulsedoge goes to $1,000, and I hope that no one gets hurt doing any of this stuff. And I hope Hex moons and Hedron moons, but I cannot sit here and not give my honest opinion on stuff. This is not, if you think this is a personal attack, then you need to personally look in the mirror and shut the fuck up, because it's bullshit. You think this is a personal attack? That means you're lying already, because I don't give a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck. I have 2,500 subscribers. If you don't think this is going to work because of me and this makes you upset, your product sucks. Okay? I'm a YouTuber. I say shit. This is what I have to do. And this is what I'm going to do. And I believe it's the right thing to do. So, guys, everyone have a great day. DeFi Proof, the official rapper of this show, always getting after it, guys. Sorry, my mouth.
You want me to pull it up real quick? We got DeFi Proof, the outro.
Young folks, you dripping on them motherfucker.
Richard Heart. Richard Heart.
Bought my Hex from the fucking start. .1 every day we murk. from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Hart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hairy start. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart. Buy my hex from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Hart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hairy start. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart. Checking my MetaMask moving. Look at the hex, he is mooning. Looking at wives they be choosing. Peter is why they be losing. Pull chains out and get me a check. He's gas up and got me a mess. Remember the times he died collect. Hex I been eating, I'm dying in the best. Getting this back like a year ago. Getting this post, I ain't letting go. Swerving the ring like a Lambo. Getting this back like a year ago. Getting this post, I ain't letting go. Swerving the ring like a Lambo. Buy my hex from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Hart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hairy start. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart. Buy my hex from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Hart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hairy start. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart. Richard Hart. Richard Hart.